as a team, we can attest that it is true. Alex does not have a desk. Hi, my name is Clara Martins and welcome to the Nomad Capital YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be interviewing our CEO, Alex Mansour. Alex, if you want to come in.
Hi, Clara.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm excited. Let's do it.
Well, since you are here today, we would like to learn a little bit more about you and especially about your background. So can you tell us a little bit more about your professional experiences in other countries before Portugal?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the company is called Nomad because we are all nomads, and I like to call myself a nomad. I had a chance to study in many different countries. I started in France, moved to Japan in my late teens. I've lived and studied also in China, in Hong Kong. I did an end of studies internship in India for almost a year, which was fantastic. I did an MBA in New York City, where I lived for about 7 years. And at the end of my studies, I worked in the financial sector in some well-known hedge funds and at AXA, which also is the largest insurer in the world, but a bit less well-known, also one of the largest financial institutions. And moved to Portugal. It's been 10 years now.
Right, that's a lot of different countries that you've been to. Okay. And I think that is already very interesting. But if I may ask, what do you think is the most interesting aspect about you as a person?
That's a horrible question. It's so difficult to answer, but I would say, let's say that I live in a hotel most of the time, and all of my belongings fit in a cabin luggage.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay, so who do you think, after all of those experiences that you've had previously, who do you think is your biggest inspiration when it comes to leadership, and who inspired your leading style?
So one of my passions is to read entrepreneur biographies. I can't get enough of them. And despite I was influenced by all of them, out of my mind right now, I would say Richard Branson, Jeff Bezos, and Steve Jobs, of course, were some of the ones that inspired me the most.
And what do you think would be the advice that you would give to maybe an entrepreneur that is looking to starting now?
Okay, so I'm just going to bullet advice right now. Quit fast, quit often. That's the only way to know what you really want to do in life. You don't know what you don't know. So that's very important. How can you know something if you don't know it? I think that's quite meaningful. Learn to love and enjoy patience, because entrepreneurship, it's about endless patience. Do not lock yourself in a private office, but learn to be inside among your team. I don't have an office. I don't even have a desk, actually, and I just love to sit down with everyone, and that's my style. Adopt a philosophy of servant leadership. That's so important. You're serving your team members, you're serving your clients, you're serving your investors. And the best investment is in yourself. I think that's a big one also.
That's really a huge one. And we can, as a team, we can attest that it is true. Alex does not have a desk. But also, now moving further into the Nomad Capital, what has inspired you to create this company, and how has your vision evolved ever since?
Okay, good question. I've always been very passionate about hospitality and real estate. Obviously, I love traveling. I love discovering new cultures. I love discovering how different cultures address the services, I think. And I have a thing for numbers, so naturally, real estate development, especially in the high-end space, just made sense.
All right. And what do you think are the main factors that attracted you to Portugal, especially after being in so many different countries that probably are a bit more well known as opportunity hubs? What actually interested you in Portugal in the first place?
Okay, so there's the things that everyone knows, so I'm not going to get into details of safety, food, people, and all of that, because we know those things. what specifically attracted me to Portugal is Portugal is a country of opportunity. It's a market which is very receptive to innovation. Um, it has an endless supply of ideas and a fantastic quality of life. So it just happened. Yeah.
And what do you think are your company's long-term goals? And also, how do you see that the organization is going to be growing over the next 5-10 years?
So with our Eden concept, we finally found a product that we know people will want. It's a branded residence focused on its residents, not so much on the hospitality provider on a big hotel chain, which typically has conflicting agendas. This is a product that took us many years of brainstorming and trial and error to perfect, and we know we have something which is unique and a demand from a market which is very strong. And we actually also have another concept, the Nomad Reserve concept. We are not ready to announce it yet because we have to prove the concept. But again, Portugal, very receptive to innovation. We already have selected the land. We acquired the land. It's in Porto. So on the Eden side, we're going to start a large fundraising so that we can deploy. We have already selected the 5 target cities across Europe that we want to do that. And if the Nomad Reserve concept also works with the audience that we are targeting to, then we will do that as well.
So you heard it here first about the new project, probably upcoming in the next few months. Let's see, let's hope for that. And that brings me to the next question. How do you ensure that Nomad Capital's vision is always present in our day-to-day roles here?
My brother said something after attending our Nomad Eden launch event, which really resonated with me. He told me and congratulated me for putting together a team that shared the same vision and the same passion. First of all, that meant a lot to me. But also, it has one key advantage. It allows for I don't have to ensure anything. Basically, your team's passion and vision ensures automatically the company's core values and objective. And I'm really proud of that. And I'm really proud of the team as a result of that.
Well, thank you so much. And also the industry and the challenges that sometimes we can face. What do you think are the major challenges and changes that you foresee in the industry in the next few years?
Okay, so that's a really good question. The answer is constantly evolving, but obviously it's the cornerstone of our internal strategy discussions. Branded residences are the fastest growing segment in the luxury real estate space. Yet those projects, they typically focus on the rentability and follow the needs of large hospitality chains. And that's why, the Marriott's, the Four Seasons are all doing branded residences. But this kind of goes against buyers' wishes to just have a home, right? Which is a permanent home or just for vacation. So, in my opinion, this will lead or has already led to lots of disappointments. Not necessarily just for the clients, but also for the hospitality chains. When 2 entities have conflicted objectives, at some point there's going to be some frictions, right? And this needs to change. And the focus should always be the person that is buying the home and not necessarily the profitability of a hotel operator. So at Nomad, we know with our Nomad Eden concept that we have solved that problem. We have a branded residence and we have managed to bypass entirely the need of a hotel operator. So we are not a hotel chain making homes. We are a residential developer with hotel amenities. And there's no need to rent the units. There's no need for hotel operator to be present. And I'm pretty sure this is where the next steps in luxury real estate is heading, not just in Europe. I think it's an issue that is going to be true all over the world. And I also know that we are probably the first ones in the space. So the way the market will change is that we are going to change it. We will be the market leader there. And that's the objective.
And that actually connects really well to the next question, which was how can you get the company to be constantly aware of changes and constantly evolving, especially with these trying times, where everything, as you said, is evolving so rapidly.
Yeah.
How can you manage to do that? Because I know that that's got to be very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, again, constantly changing. Like the same way when you're a captain of a boat, you're the captain when the weather is sunny, but also in choppy waters. We have, I mean, I have lots of pleasure doing that. That's first thing. But also we stayed small. We were very picky on the projects we decided to advance with. We listened to our audience. We stayed humble while growing. We learned from our mistakes, and we never gave up. But now we have a concept that we know works. So it's time for us to fire with strength and apply our learnings to expand. The market may be constantly evolving, but we are ready to take the lead and actually lead the change.
Is how do you measure success for both yourself and for Nomad Capital too?
Okay. So I mean, as a company CEO, I always come last. So my success is measured on the level of satisfaction from my team members, my clients, and my investors. If they are happy, I'm happy. But at the same time, I might be an idealist, but at the corporate level, numbers don't lie. So we have very strict and ambitious metrics and objectives that we set, and the success is based on outperforming those objectives and metrics, basically.
And now about the last question that we have for you today. I would like to ask you what excites you the most about the future of the company.
Okay. So we were market learners. I don't want to say followers because we were always innovative, but let's say market learners. We are now market drivers, and I look forward to seeing us as market leaders.
Okay, thank you so much for your time today. I hope that this was very knowledgeable also for everyone watching this video, and especially now that you get to know who's behind the whole concept of Nomad Capital, and especially this amazing company that I'm very proud of to be a team member.
Thank you so much, Karen.